Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this after a long time, standing here like this on an endless road. Perhaps one of the most beautiful roads of our country, 1.06 kilometers of a straight road of an FIA certified Formula 1 racetrack. So boys and girls, welcome to the Kawasaki H2, welcome to the Budh International Circuit.
Welcome to PowerDrift.
Now that we are here, there is no stalling this situation. For that Renegade hydrogen molecule there can sustain life, but if done wrong can even destroy. Which is why we have him riding one here.
So, in that short session, I have to tell you that this bike has done things to my mind which have never happened in the past before, and my mind can't quite make up what happened actually. So, if I have to make sense of what happened, I'm going to take a break and...
Well, let's then just understand a bit more about this experiment.
The fact that Kawasaki H2 is an experiment is evident when you look at how it got made. You see, Kawasaki already was making lightning fast motorcycles like the ZX-10RR or the humongous ZX-14R. But to make this Frankenstein monster, they had to do more. They had to contact their heavy industry, aviation, shipping and turbine to come together to make a wicked motorcycle. The mirror-finished fairing, the sharp tail, the winglets, a shimmering colored rally frame, the single-sided swing arm and
a supercharger. That chirping you heard earlier, that was that aero-grade impeller spinning away. It's been milled from a 5-axis machine, the only one that could make it out of a single piece of metal. And when it's going full speed, it's going at about 399 meters per second. We've done the math. That basically means it's going faster than the speed of sound. Supersonic. But is the H2 supersonic? Well, let's find out. In terms of horsepower, compared to the ZX-10R, this with ram air makes 210 PS, which is the same. In terms of torque, it is more than the 10R, but less than the 14R, which is a lot less expensive. And when it comes to the curb weight, yeah, it's lighter than the 14R, but it's heavier than the 10R. Basically, this is a monster that can't be judged merely on its spec sheet. For it to blow you away, you have to get on and ride. Continues to be sinister even when you get on top of it and start riding, and in the smallest of ways. For instance, what's the red line? It doesn't tell you. It's only when the needle sweeps up does it light up the numbers to show you where you are. And then there's the boost display. So as boost, it doesn't show you how many levels until you hit a level. So you think you've gone to the 3rd level of boost and that must be maxed out. But then you whack the throttle open and keep it open. That's the only way to find out. You take the fastest leader class motorcycles out there, they give you somewhat of a breather before they get to the crescendo at higher RPMs. With the H2, you're left breathless right from the word go. I'm not talking 0 to 100 acceleration and horsepower race. This is about torque. And you put this in 3rd gear or 4th gear and just roll on the gas, this will outrun the fastest superbikes out there. Leader class motorcycles won't stand a chance. Because right from as low as 3000 RPM, the pull is just relentless and unwavering. Imagine trying to surf a tsunami. That's what it really feels Fed followed by that supercharger, which makes more boost than the Nissan GT-R. You have one solid tsunami ride to 300 kilometers an hour, which is really going to be fast. But you could remove that electronically limited top speed, and then 350 kilometers an hour doesn't look all that far. The brakes are phenomenal. The biggest compliment I can pay them is that they're probably the only thing that can put a leash on this beast. Aside from that, there's bite, feel and progression to keep the rider feeling confident as well. You have 9 levels of traction control, you have engine brake control, you have wheelie control, you have launch control, the works. The H2 is not an easy bike to turn in. The front end feels quite heavy, so you really need to muscle it into a corner. And what if you want to take on a pillion? Well, forget about the pillion. The H2 has a payload of 110 kilos only. So if you wear a suit and helmet and boots and a slightly heavy meal in you, that's it. You may not be right for the bike either.
But none of that changes the fact that the H2 is a harbinger of a new era, an era possibly of new level of performance motorcycles.
And yeah, people struggle to categorize the H2, but understand this happened in the past. With the Blackbird, with the Busa, with the 14R, they were a new breed of motorcycles that wanted speed, and the H2 is doing exactly that, but in its own way. Instead of a horsepower war, it's leading a torque war.
So we don't know which way the future will really script itself, but maybe the H2 today is just a great loud cheer before we flip the switch to electric.
But one thing we do know for sure, that the rider that hops off an H2 will forever be wired differently.